Shalom, and welcome to Bible Stories as Blueprints of the Soul, your Biblical Hebrew podcast. Shalom and good morning. Today I would like to speak to you about the name of Hebron, its meaning, its connection to the Spirit, its connection to the fathers, to Joseph, to Jacob, the relation between matter and spirit. So to open up slowly this conversation, we shall start with mentioning and explaining the Hebrew name of Hebron. The name Hebron is written with 5 letters: Chet, Bet, Resh, Vav, Nun. Hebron. The stem letters are 3, Chet, Bet, Resh, which means to connect, lechaber, as a verb, or as a noun, chaver, a friend. So, in the name of Hebron, we meet 2 concepts. One is friendship, and the other one is connection. The sages in the book of Zohar are stating that the Torah, the 5 books of Moses, are also named Hebron. And the question is why? And the answer that they give is simple. Everyone who reads the Torah, reads the 5 books of Moses, is a friend, because he's trying to connect to something which is higher, because the Torah is the mirror of the Spirit, and everybody who reads the Torah, he tries to connect to the Spirit, to communicate also to other people who read the Torah and try to communicate or being communicated by the Spirit. So the name Hebron means to connect, as a noun, to be a friend. Hebron is the name not just of an ancient city in the land of Canaan, but also is a synonym to the Torah. The Torah, the 5 books of Moses, are called Hebron because when people want to connect to the Spirit, they read the Torah. What is so special about Hebron that we keep thinking and talking about the name all the time? Because it's a very concrete junction in understanding the world of the Spirit. The numeral value of the name Hebron is 266, meaning 3 digits, 266. If we look into those digits, we find interesting concept. 26, 26 is 26 and 6. 26 double 6 gives us the volume of 156. 156 is the numeral value of the name Joseph. In Hebrew, Yosef. Yosef. This is why Jacob, while being in Egypt, asking Joseph to bury him in the Machpelah cave in Hebron. Jacob had 12 children, 12 sons. He could ask any one of them to grant his burial in Hebron, theoretically, but practically he turns to Joseph and asks specifically from Joseph to keep his last request to be buried with his fathers in Hebron. And the question is why? The answer is simple. Because Joseph, he is the only one who is capable to keep the father request. But there is another hidden secret in this special request, specifically from Joseph. The quality of his name. The name Joseph, which has the value of 156, is an expression of 6 times the tetragrammaton. 1 tetragrammaton, the name with the 4 letters, Yod He Vav He has the volume of 26. So 6 times the Tetragrammaton gives us the volume of Joseph. Joseph, according to the sages, is located on the tree of life in the sphere of foundation. In Hebrew, Yesod. Not just foundation, Yesod, but also Yesod holds the Sod. Sod in Hebrew is a secret. And Joseph is associated with this specific junction of secret of the 10. What is foundation in Hebrew? Yesod. Yod, the letter Yod, the volume of 10, is a secret, meaning the one who finds the Yod, which is not just the 10th letter in the Hebrew alphabet, but also the covenant between heaven and earth, has the secret, has the inner understanding of things. And Joseph is associated with this quality, to find a covenant between heaven and earth whenever he is staying. This is why he can coexist in Egypt for 93 years of his life. So from him, as an owner of secret, as the sages say, Baal Sod, Jacob asked from Joseph to bury him in Hebron. Again, the volume or the quality, it's more inner quality than numeral value. We speak a lot about numbers, but those numbers are reflecting a quality, not just quantity. As Friedrich Weinreb explained in his book, Roots of the Bible. So what is the quality of Joseph, or 6 times the Tetragrammaton? Sphere of foundation concentrates the light or the abundance of the 6 spheres of the tree of life. Chesed, grace, Gevurah, overcoming or courage, Tiferet, beauty, eternity, Netzach, royalty, Hod, and foundation, Yesod. Joseph has the capability to unite all of those illuminations together. He's the only one who can unite and connect things and influence them to the heavenly kingdom. Or he can grasp, so to speak, the spirit under his wings and bring them forth to the one who seek spirit. This is why he can coexist in Egypt, and this is why he has the capability with the power of the spirit to unite his father with his last request. And I would like to mention this conversation, an interesting verse from the book of Numbers, Numbers 13. And Hebron was built 7 years before Zoan, Egypt. What does this verse mean? What does it mean that Hebron was built 7 years before Zoan, Egypt? Years, which are mentioned in the Bible, are not what we think as calendaric years. Like 1 year is the way that planet Earth circles the sun. 1 year is basically one illumination, one circle of planet Earth around the sun. It's one illumination, 1 year. So now when we read the sequences of time in the Bible, days, years, hours, we don't read them as scientifically today measured. Let's say 1 hour is 60 minutes or 1 month is so on. We read it in a spiritual lens. So what does it mean that Hebron was built 7 years before Zoan, Egypt? Hebron is built 7 illumination. 7 illuminations before Zoan, Egypt. Egypt is the world of 6, of duality, of 6. It's like, so to speak, the letter Vav. Vav itself without any connection. It's like a bachelor. The word for bachelor in Hebrew is ravak. Ravak. Resh, Vav, Kof. Ravak. People are asking in Hebrew, what does it mean to be a bachelor? Ravak. And the answer is simple. Rak Vav. Only Vav. Only the 6. Tick-tack, 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 tick-tack. No rest. A bachelor life. Parties, drinking, music, movies. No obligations, no relations. Tack-tack, tack-tack, tack-tack-tack. Rak Vav. This is the life of Egypt. But the verse says, and Hebron was built 7 years before Zoan, Egypt. So Hebron has the advantage of what? Of 1 to the 6 of Egypt. We said before that Hebron, in its secret way, has 6 times the tetragrammaton. 266 is 26 double 6, 6 times. And now how can we settle this fact with the verse that Hebron was built 7 years before Zoan, Egypt? What is the distance between 6 and 7? The answer is 1. If we add the 1 to the 6, we get, so to speak, 7 years or 7 illumination. And everything that has a relation to the 7 has a relation to the heaven, because there is a rest in the 7th day. In Egypt, tick-tack, tick-tack, tick-tack. Cannot rest, cannot find peace from conflicts, from arguments, from running. But Hebron was built 7 years before. What does it mean 7 years? The advantage of 7 to 6 is 1. There's a rest, there's a balance. Like we can rest in the 7th day, like the Ark of Noah rested in the 7th month. Again, months is illumination. There is a rest in the 7, in a manner of year or month or day. There is a rest. This is another secret. Why David reigned in Hebron 7 years. First, to build the heavenly kingdom, the 7, this is the key, because David was governing or reigning in Hebron 7 years. And in Jerusalem, as a king of Israel, he reigned 33 years. And together, 7 plus 33 gives us the volume of 40 years. I hope this conversation was not too hard to follow. If you have questions, please write to us. So this was our little conversation about Hebron, its meaning, Jacob, Joseph, the ability to connect to the Spirit, the ability to hold a secret. Why Hebron was built 7 years before Zoan, Egypt, and why David reigned in Hebron 7 years before he reigned Jerusalem. Wishing you a beautiful day and wonderful week. Thank you for listening to Bible Stories as Blueprints of the Soul. We hope that you enjoyed this episode. If you have any questions, comments, or would like to hear more about a certain topic, just write us an email to hebrew@learnoutlive.com. We are always happy to hear from you. For more episodes, videos, and articles like this, please visit our website at hebrew.learnoutlive.com. We also would like to invite you to join our live classes. Just search for Online College of Biblical Hebrew on Facebook and start learning now with students from all over the world. Koltuv and Shalom.